This story takes us back to World War II. A lone American soldier named Clark drifts across the Pacific in a half-broken lifeboat. He's battered, sunburned, and so thirsty his lips have cracked. For days he's prayed to spot land, and finally, one bright morning, he sees a strip of green on the horizon. Clark worries the island might be a trap set by the enemy, but hope is stronger than fear. He aims the little boat toward shore, drags it onto the sand, and steps out on shaky legs. The beach is silent except for waves and wind, until he spots something that shouldn't be here at all, a small wooden church. Inside the doorway stands a young nun sweeping the floor. When she notices the stranger in torn marine fatigues, she gasps, clutches her broom like a weapon, and apologizes in broken English. She thinks he might be Japanese. Clark quickly raises both hands. "Don't be scared," he says. "I'm American, not Japanese." The nun exhales, nods, and invites him inside. Her name is Sister Anglena. She explains that a group of missionaries once landed here to guide islanders toward a better life. They never guessed Japanese troops already used the place as a hidden outpost. The soldiers captured the priests and nuns, sold some, killed others. Father John, the old priest who led them, died of heartbreak soon after. Anglena buried him herself. His grave lies just outside the church. Since then, she has lived totally alone, certain everyone assumes she is dead too. Clark shares his story. He's a U.S. Marine. His ship was torpedoed, and by sheer luck, he found this lifeboat and survived a 300-mile drift. Outside, the war is brutal. "I'm amazed you've stayed alive out here," he says. Anglena only smiles and shrugs. Food is first on their minds. Clark climbs a rocky hill to knock down coconuts and spots a dark cave, maybe a future hiding place. Down at the water, he spies a large sea turtle. He and Anglena paddle after it. Clark even tumbles into the ocean once, but finally wrestles the turtle aboard. They roast it over a fire and share their first real meal in days. That night, under quiet stars, they talk. Clark was raised in an orphanage for 14 years before joining the Marines to do something for my country. Anglena was also an orphan. She chose a life close to God because it filled her with purpose. Clark cracks a joke, trying to flirt. The sister laughs but lets the moment pass. Suddenly the sky buzzes. Japanese fighter planes. If pilots see smoke or movement, they'll strafe the island. Clark grabs Anglena's hand and runs toward the cave he noticed earlier. They hide while bombs torch the church and set palm trees flaming. When the smoke clears, the beloved chapel is nothing but ashes. Anglena's eyes fill with tears. Worse news follows. Enemy patrol boats beach on the far side of the island. Dozens of soldiers spread out, searching. Clark's lifeboat, his one-way home, is burned on the spot. Escape now seems impossible. The cave becomes their refuge. Clark slips out only after dark to fish. One night a patrol sweeps the shore, forcing him to smear black mud on his face and belly crawl into the enemy camp itself. While the troops practice drills, he steals canned rations, dried rice, and a jug of sweet coconut liquor. At sunrise, gunshots echo. Anglena thinks Clark has been killed. She sobs against a rock until he finally returns, scolding her for leaving the cave. He shows off the haul of food, and she makes him promise to warn her before any future risks. Days later, Clark surprises her with a wooden comb and a single red rose. His flirting grows bolder. Anglena thanks him, but reminds him she is still under her vows. She wears a silver ring that means she is in the 5-year preparation period to become a full nun. After that, she would switch to gold. Breaking the vow, she says, curses the soul forever. Clark's shoulders slump, yet he stays gentle. That night, they open the stolen liquor. Clark drinks too much, loneliness and fear boiling over. His words turn ugly. Why stay a nun? Marry me instead. He grabs her arm. Anglena jerks free and dashes into the jungle, spending the stormy night alone. Morning brings heavy rain. Clark finds her unconscious, clothes soaked. He carries her back, but she's shivering. To save her, he sneaks into the Japanese camp again to steal warm clothes. A young guard spots him. Clark has no choice but to kill the soldier and bury the body at the shore. When Anglena wakes 2 days later, she's shocked to see fresh clothes on her body and horrified that Clark risked murder. He apologizes and begs forgiveness. She forgives him, but makes it clear the drunken. Gunfire returns. Japanese soldiers discover their comrade's grave and fan out, torches in hand. The island ring glows with fire. From the cave mouth, Clark sees no path left. He decides to surrender himself to spare Anglena. She refuses. "They'll do worse to me if you give up." Outside, voices shout. The soldiers have found the cave and threaten to blow it up. Clark and Anglena hold each other, prepare for death, and then distant explosions rock the ground. The enemy troops scream and scatter. Clark peeks out. American Marines are landing, shelling the island. Joy turns to panic. The beach and jungle are laced with hidden Japanese mines. If U.S. troops advance blindly, they'll die. Clark sprints into the chaos, disarming mines one by one. Shrapnel cuts his leg, but he wrecks the main detonator, saving many lives. When the firing stops, Anglena tends Clark's wounds with strips of cloth and whispered prayers. They know this might be their last moment together. Clark says, "Maybe we'll never meet again." Anglena presses a hand to her heart. "You gave me hope when I had none. You'll always live here." American medics arrive, lift Clark onto a stretcher. He asks one for a cigarette, grips it between his teeth, and flashes Anglena a crooked grin. She follows a few steps, Rose still tucked against her chest, until the Marines lead them both toward the evacuation boats. Their story ends there, unfinished, yet unforgettable. Two strangers left each other with scars, gratitude, and a memory of how even on a burned-out island in the middle of war, a flicker of humanity can still survive.